Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhu. Go Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvarikacharya Satara Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvarikacharya Satara Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Chaimakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Priya Madanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Go Premanandi. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Yeah, my throat usually gets dry. wore it and I removed it. Not now. Yes. Thank you. ओह तो फिर मैंने दे दिया उनको. हाँ? No, sometimes books में ऐसा. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mataji. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. या गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी. यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना. यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना. यमुना तीरा वनचारी. यमुना तीरा वनचारी. जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. जय राधा कालचंजी राधा कालचंजी राधे. जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की. श्रील प्रभुपाद की. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class, and we will be reading the verses from Canto 10, Chapter 12, verses 34 through 39. So seeking the blessings of all the devotees present here and those who are also listening online, that we can speak something, share something from Srimad Bhagavatam and what we have heard from our acharyas, gurus, shiksha gurus. Do you have internet connectivity also? Hare Krishna. So our focus verse is verse number. Focus verse is verse number 39. So we will look at 35. So all of these verses is small purport. So we will discuss them, and then we will recite at the last. We will recite the verse number 39. So let us read the translation and the purport. Can we take the turns and read?
Thereafter, everyone being pleased, the demigods began to shower flowers from Nandana Kanana. The celestial dancing girls began to dance, and the Gandharvas, who are famous for singing, offered songs of prayer. The drummers began to beat their kettle drums, and the Brahmanas offered Vedic hymns. In this way, both in the heavens and on earth, everyone began to perform his own duties, glorifying the Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone had some particular duty. The Shastra has concluded, Nirupita, that everyone should glorify the the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his own qualifications. If you are a singer, always glorify the Supreme Lord by singing very nicely. If you are a musician, glorify the Supreme Lord by playing musical instruments. Swanustistasya dharmasya sansidhir haritoshanam. Bhagavatam 1-13. The perfection of life is to satisfy the personality of Godhead. Therefore, beginning from this earth up to the celestial kingdom, everyone engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality, everyone engaged in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The decision of all great saintly persons is that whatever qualifications one has acquired should be utilized to glorify the Supreme Lord. Idam hi pumsam tapasa shrutasya va switstasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayo avichyutyato artha kavibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Learned sages have definitely concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, austerity, Vedic study, sacrifice, the chanting of hymns, and charity is found in the transcendental descriptions of the qualities of the Lord, who's defined in choice poetry. Bhagavatam 1.5.22. This is the perfection of life. One should be trained how to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's respective qualities. Education, austerity, penance, or in the modern world, business, industry, education, and so on, all should be engaged in glorifying the Lord. Then everyone in the world will be happy.
Krishna comes therefore to exhibit his transcendental activity so that people may have the chance to glorify him in every respect. To understand how to glorify the Lord is actual research work. It is not that everything should be understood without God. That is condemned. Bhagavad bhakti hinasya jati shastram japastapaha apranasvaiva dehasya mandhanam lokaranjanam. Haribhakti Subhodhaya 3.11. Without Bhagavad Bhakti, without glorification of the Supreme Lord, whatever we have is simply a decoration of the dead body.
Jai, thank you. It's very, very beautiful purport. And Prabhupada says that, we cannot be happy without glorifying the Lord, and we are just like a dead body without the glorification of the Lord. So we will pause reading right now. I'm just going to discuss some of the things here. Our focus is basically that how the residents and how various people actually glorify the activities of the Lord. So whenever Lord does something very wonderful, amazing, everybody is doing the glorification of the Lord. So Prabhupada writes that whatever one has, one should utilize all that in the service of the Lord. We know from Bhagavad Gita, yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad johoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushasva madarpanam. So Prabhupada says here education, austerity. So one has education, one can actually use that in the service of the Lord. Reading scriptures, going into the depth, doing research work, preaching to others. And also you see now the devotees are doing PhDs, doctorate programs in religious studies. Many devotees are doing Bhaktivedanta Research Library, has done a lot of work in that, and they're publishing a lot of books. So you see how education, they are using it in the service of the Lord. Then austerity, one can fast for the Lord and follow the rules and regulations, serve in the temple, eat only Krishna Prasadam, eat the food which is cooked by the devotees, eat something which is, cooked by those who are chanting the 16 rounds. So that is also an austerity. It is not easy, in this world. And the business, one can actually donate for the Lord. One can use one artha, money, in the service of the Lord. And by their contacts, they can bring more and more people to Krishna consciousness. So that way, one can actually use the talent. So there has been always some culture of, glorification of the Lord. We see the temples were always cultural centers. And whenever any, great kings does something big, or, even if there is a big temple of the Lord, then there used to be always glorification. So we see that when Krishna actually also appeared, and anytime Krishna does something wonderful, there is, glorifications. There were different kinds of people, who are actually doing this regular activities of glorification. So some of them I'll just discuss little bit. So there used to be Suta. Suta, they were very good at storytelling, like Puranic stories. So we know how Suta Goswami, very wonderfully narrated the whole Srimad Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimesharanyam. So Suta Goswami not only narrated Srimad Bhagavatam, but many other Puranas, many other scriptures. So we see that most of those scriptures starts with Sutta Uvacha, Sutta Goswami said. So they were Suttas. Then there are Siddhas who will offer prayers. Then there was a community called Magadha. They were from, Magadha Prant, from, Bihar kind of location. And they will announce the genealogy, glorify the lineage. If some kings would get coronated, so coronation ceremonies, victories, all that thing. So even it is being mentioned that Maghas would come and they will glorify Krishna when Krishna was in Dwarka. Wow, that you have won over this battle, you have done this, you are having a great lineage, you are a Yaduvanshi, like this. Then there were Vandi, some say Bandijan or Vandi. So they were very expert in poetry. They will write very nice poetry, very nice glorifications, composing and recite these poems praising the generosity of either the king or the Supreme Lord, their victories and their valor. Then there is description of charana. You will see all these things in pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Charanas. So they were doing sacred glorification, praises of the deities, reminding everyone that how one should be righteous, how one should follow the rightful conduct. Then there were Gandharvas. Gandharvas were expert in music. They will be expert in singing and also playing the instruments. They will enchant the hearts of everyone. And then you see there were Apsaras. So Prabhupada also, here it is mentioned, right, that the Apsaras were also dancing. Gandharvas, the celestial dancing girls began to dance, and the Gandharvas, who are famous in singing, offered the songs of prayers. So Apsaras were not just dancing in heavenly planets for Indra, but Apsaras would dance when the Lord does amazing activities. So that's there in the translation itself. So they were dancing, whenever the Lord does some wonderful activities, they will dance. So dance for the pleasure of the Lord. So this was usually the kind of tradition that temples were always the cultural centers. Different kinds of people who have different talents, they would come and they will perform for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Somebody who sings nicely, they will please the Lord in front of the deities. Somebody who dance nicely, they will perform different dances, Kathak, Bharatnatyam and all that for the pleasure of the Lord. Then there were Vidyadharas. They will be sounding kettle drums. Dung, 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 dung. They will be sounding those drums. And these drums will be heard all over. And there will be Vipravar, the group of Brahmanas. They will be reciting various stotras. So in this way, all should be, Prabhupada says, all should be engaged in glorifying the Lord. Then everyone in the world will be happy. So that was the tradition and the custom. So now I take some examples. So Udupi, if you go to Udupi Dham, Udupi Krishna is there in Karnataka. So they still have a tradition. In the every evenings, they have a stage, next to the temple. And then there will be a theater. Some theater will be there. And, people just assemble there to hear. So sometimes, Ram Katha is there. Sometimes Krishna killing some demon is there. So they will do the role plays, and they will decorate very nicely. If you might have seen somewhere, very beautiful dressing and everything, and with lot of expressions. They will, oh, he did this. How is it possible? With full expressions, with full emotions. So we interacted with them, and they said that we can even, come to the temples and teach you like this. So they want actually to pass on this tradition, but there are nobody who are actually so much interested, but very beautifully they glorify the Lord for 1 to 1.5 hours. And it is amazing to just witness that, even though we don't understand in which language, they may be speaking in Kannada, like that. So that tradition is still continued in the temple. In Jagannath Puri, I have heard that there is a lineage who keeps writing the pastimes of the Lord. So Jagannath is performing pastimes every day. And this lineage, family tradition, they are just writing what Jagannath did with this, what Jagannath did like this. So they are just maintaining that tradition. So there is another one. There was one person, his name was Sam. He was an American. So in 1985, he actually traveled to India. He went to a remote village called Manikpur in Uttar Pradesh. And he went there and he saw a very beautiful scene. He saw an old person wearing the specs. He's sitting outside his house and he is reading Ramayana. So then he went near to him and he asked him, "What are you doing?" So this old person, in his broken English, he said, "Ramayana, reading Ramayana." Then he said, "Oh, what is that shop?" He said, "Who is working in that shop?" So he said, "My son is there. And my son is actually doing, he is handling the shop. So I am now retired. So I am actually spending time in reading Ramayana." And there was a small boy who was playing there. So he saw that and he took that memory with him. Oh, this is such a beautiful, wonderful culture. So then he came back and he must be like 25 years. After 30 years, when he became 55, he again went to the same village, Manikpur, and he was shocked. He saw the same scene again. And he said, no, wait a moment. Is he still living? That same old person? Did he live for 30 years? He was so old. Then he again went and saw another old person is sitting there, and one middle-aged person is working in the shop, and a small child is playing. So he was amazed. How is it possible? Then he went and talked to that person, old person. Then he realized, oh, this old person is actually the son who was actually running the shop. And that child who was playing, he is now running the shop. And that small child who is playing, he is the son of that person who is running the shop. So he was amazed that tradition actually continues. So, so some of the realizations from that. This came on ISKCON Desire Tree. The steady culture of hearing and absorption in the Ramayana remained in the Indian villages, while the passion of change gives a titillating pleasure. On the surface, reading the same scripture, chanting the same holy name may seem boring. But now Sam could see that peace and stability comes from consistently performing the same spiritual practices day in and day out. That is the thing. A sudden realization dawned on Sam. There is so much clarity when we are connected to an eternal space of transcendence, a place where nothing changes. Nothing changes in the spiritual realm. The more the world outside of us changes, the more we need to embrace that which doesn't change. So this was a beautiful realization. I was reading in one of the, European authors, one of the books, and in the introduction, he speaks that in Europe we had a tradition of sleeping early because there were no lights. So we will burn the candles, and then, there used to be candlelight reading. We will discuss from Bible and we will tell stories. The grandparents would tell the stories to their children, and everybody will very nicely, peacefully take rest with lot of good inputs given. And with the advent of electricity, then coming of the newspapers, then the novels, and then television, then internet, and now the social media, mobile phones. It has completely disrupted the lives of the people because they don't have time in reading, hearing, glorifying the Lord. So that used to be always the culture. In the culture where I was brought up, I saw my grandfather whole day, he's sitting and just reading Ramayana and glorifying the Lord. My grandmother would also do that, and we could never understand that how they are doing that, but it was something, that attachment to the eternal space. Because when we actually do the glorification of the Lord, we get so much. So we are going to discuss some of the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, that what are the benedictions awarded for one who actually remains absorbed in glorifying the Supreme Lord or hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says in this purport another very beautiful thing: without Bhagavad Bhakti, without glorification of the Supreme Lord, whatever we have is simply a decoration of the dead body. So Narottam Das Thakur resounds that Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Visha Khaino. So after obtaining this rare human birth, if we have not sung the glories of Radha and Krishna, then we have knowingly drunk the poison. This is Narottam Das Thakur. So now let's read the next verse.
When Lord Brahma heard the wonderful ceremony going on near his planet, accompanied by music and songs and sounds of Jai Jai, he immediately came down to see the function. Upon seeing so much glorification of Lord Krishna, he was completely astonished.
Purport also.
Here the word anti means near, indicating that even in the higher planetary system near Brahmalok, like Maharlok, Janalok and Tapalok, the festival of glorification of Lord Krishna was going on.
Jai, see, so amazing. All the other planetary systems, they are all glorifying. And Brahmaji was surprised, where this sound is coming from. Who is actually glorifying the Lord? So when we took Gaur Nitai on the Gaur Purnima, we are having such wonderful parikrama, and so many people must be observing, oh, what is this? They also want to participate. And you never know, who are in the crowd. Sometimes the demigods also comes in the forms of devotees, and they also want to take part. So they are always interested, oh, what is going on, and that there is going to be festival of joy soon. So many people are waiting, and even the demigods are waiting. They may come, participate disguised, so this is beautiful. Wherever the glorification of the Lord is there, they are all interested. Verse number 36.
O King Parikshit, when the python-shaped body of Aghasura dried up into merely a big skin, it became a wonderful place for the inhabitants of Vrindavan to visit, and it remained so for a long, long time.
This incident of Krishna saving himself and his associates from death and of giving deliverance to Aghasura, who had assumed the form of a python, took place when Krishna was 5 years old. It was disclosed in Rajbhumi after 1 year, as if it had taken place on that very day.
Text 38.
Krishna is the cause of all causes. The causes and effects of the material world, both higher and lower, are all created by the Supreme Lord, the original controller. When Krishna appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, he did so by his causeless mercy. Consequently, for him to exhibit his unlimited opulence was not at all wonderful. Indeed, He showed such great mercy that even Aghasur, the most sinful miscreant, was elevated to being one of his associates and achieving Sarupya Mukti, which is actually impossible for materially contaminated persons to attain.
Joy. Now we will recite the verse number 39. Sakradyadanga pratimant rahita mano mayi bhagavatim dado gatim sa eva nityatma sukhanu sa eva nityatma sukha anubhutyabhi vyudastamayo antargato hi kim punaha sakradyadanga pratimant rahita manomai bhagavatim dado gatim sa eva nityatma sukhanubhutyabhi vyudastamayo antargato hi kim punaha sakradyadanga pratimantarahita manomai bhagavatim dadogatim sa eva nityatma sukhanubhutyabhi vyudastamayo antargato hi kim punaha. Sakradyadanga pratimantarahita manomai bhagavatim dadogatim sakradyadanga pratimantarahita manomai bhagavatim dadogatim Sakrat, once only, Yat, whose, Anga, Anga Pratima, the form of the Supreme Lord. There are many forms, but Krishna is the original form. Antah Ahita, placing within the core of the heart. Somehow or other, Manaha Mai, thinking of him even by force. Bhagavatim, which is competent to offer devotional service to the Lord. Dadau, Krishna gave. Gatim, the best destination. Saha, he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eva, indeed, Nitya, always, Atma, of all living entities, Sukhanubhuti. Anyone thinking of him immediately enjoys transcendental pleasure. Abhivyudastamayah. Because all illusion is completely removed by him. Antahagataha. He is always present within the core of the heart. He, indeed, Kim Punaha, what to speak. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If even only once or even by force one brings the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into one's mind, one can attain the supreme salvation by the mercy of Krishna, as did Aghasur. What then is to be said of those whose hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead enters when he appears as an incarnation, or those who always think of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the source of transcendental bliss for all living entities and by whom all illusion is completely removed? The process of receiving the favor of the Supreme Personality of God is described here. Yadapada pankaja palasha vilasa bhaktiya. Simply by thinking of Krishna, one can attain him very easily. Krishna is also described as having his lotus feet always within the hearts of the devotees. Bhagavan bhakta ridhi isthitaha. In the case of Aghasur, one may argue that he was not a devotee. The answer to this is that he thought of Krishna for a moment with devotion. Bhaktyaham ekaya grahyaha. Without devotion, one cannot think of Krishna. And conversely, whenever one thinks of Krishna, one undoubtedly has devotion. Although Aghasur's purpose was to kill Krishna, for a moment Aghasur thought of Krishna with devotion, and Krishna and his associates wanted to sport with Aghasur's mouth. Similarly, Putna wanted to kill Krishna by poisoning him, but Krishna took her as his mother because he had accepted the milk of her breast. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Especially when Krishna appears as an avatar. Anyone who thinks of Krishna in his different incarnation, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyame Natishtan, and especially in his original form, as Krishna attains salvation, there are many instances of this, and among them is Aghasur, who attained the salvation of Sarupya Mukti. Therefore, the process of Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dhridavrataha. Those who are devotees always engage in glorifying Krishna. Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Ananta Rupam. When we speak of Krishna, we refer to all his avatars such as Krishna, Govinda, Narayan, Vishnu, Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, Balram and Shyamasundar. One who always thinks of Krishna must attain Vimukti, special salvation of the Lord's personal associate, not necessarily in Vrindavan, but at least in Vaikuntha. This is called Sarupya Mukti. So amazing purport that one has to, what is a benediction one gets when one is thinking of Krishna? One gets actually attains the spiritual world. And Prabhupada is saying, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. So that is the way. One should actually always think of Krishna, offer obeisances to the Lord, and always engaged in the Lord's glorification, hearing the glorifications of the Lord. So just a short one. Mataji, can you actually search the song? Giri Pujayam. You just KK songs. Giri Pujayam Vihita Kena. So these Brijvasis, they were always, whenever Krishna does some beautiful activities, they will actually compose songs and they will sing. So this is something very nicely sung by Brajvasis. So they will do it in chorus. So one group of devotees will sing one part and the other group will say the other part. Giri Pujayam Vihita Kena. So this was there on YouTube by Shivram Maharaj's group. in Krishna Valley, but somehow, they have, it is not there now. So I did not find it. Otherwise, we could have played this. They have sung it very nicely, exactly as our Gopal Champu Jiva Goswami actually mentions that. Always link chorus. So it is like, so this is one of them, not especially of Agasur's topic. Agasur topic also, Gopal Champu actually describes another song that they have composed for the Agasur only. So then it says, Giri Pujeyam Vihita Kena, the one who actually worshipped, one who lifted the Govardhan hill, and that Krishna. Can you actually read the translation, Mataji, the first one? That is. Yeah, who has arranged the worship of Govardhan hill? The one who arranged this worship. Okay, then you go back to the song. Yeah. So Giri Puja. So this repeats, one who has arranged the worship of Govardhan. Who has arranged the worship of Govardhan? He is the one. Arachi Shakra Padam Abhayam Yena, the one who actually killed the pride of Indra. Then Putanika Sa Nihita Yena, the one who actually killed Putana, demon. Trinavatanudalanam Yena, so one who actually killed Trinavat. Who is that? Who actually, so one group will sing this, and then others will have to respond. Giri Pujeyam Vihita Kena Trinavatatanu Dalanam Yena. So other group will sing like that. So there's a beautiful composition. Maybe we can also try this with the kids. Yamalarjuna Tarum Udakali, the one who actually uprooted the Yamalarjun trees. Vatsa Bakasura Hananam Yena, the one who actually killed the Vatsasur and Bakasur, Vyomasur and Aghasur, Maranam Yena, Kaliya Damanam, one who subdued Kaliya, Khara Pralamba, Khara means Dhenukasur and Pralambasur, Shamanam Yena, Dava Yugamam Paripitam, one who actually drank the two forest fires, Dava Yugamam, two forest fires, and Trasyati Kamsa Satatam, one who has always, caused the disturbance to Kamsa. So that is actually the Supreme Lord glorification. They are singing like this. So the same thing comes. Okay, so what happened is that after 1 year, they actually glorified this killing of Aghasur, because that the whole pastime happened. After this, for 1 year, that Brahma Vimon Leela and all that will happen. So after 1 year, that glorification happened, but the glorification is after that is happening of that Aghasur only. So Aghasur was just recently killed. So then so when somebody who is from Krishna, from Nanda Maharaj's family, they will say Nanda's son. And then somebody is from Yashoda's family, they will say in that songs, Yashoda's son, like this. So now, they sing a very nice this thing song. So I'll just read the meaning. Today, the son of Nanda killed a snake and rescued us from the danger. The snake's lips are many rain clouds. Its teeth are row of mountain peaks. Its breath is acrid. Acrid wind means like acidic wind is coming from Aghasur. So its breath is the acrid wind from a forest fire. Its forked tongue is a highway. We made these guesses about its limbs and we laughed. They were all laughing. All the cowherd boys, they were laughing. Oh, he looks like a big serpent, but okay, let's go inside. Anyway, Krishna is there. He always saves us, like this. Although we could clearly see it was a snake, we said it is a mountain, and we entered within it. We marched into the snake's belly, separated from Krishna. We fainted unconscious. Out of great love, our friend Krishna found us and restored our consciousness by showering us with the nectar of his glance. He brought us out of the snake and showed all of us what had happened. In this way, Krishna, who is more dear to us than our own lives, saved our lives and protected us. So these are the, I'm not reading the poetry or the song. These are all translations of that poetry. So this is actually what Brajvasis used to actually sing. So what do we speak of? Those who are actually already liberated souls, they are also singing the glories of the Lord. And definitely when we see this, Prabhupada is writing here in the purpose that how just by glorifying the Supreme Lord, just by hearing the glory. So Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the full glorification of the Lord. Just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam attentively, sitting in the classes, or glorifying the Supreme Lord, preaching to others, how much one can get. So in 3-4 minutes, I'll just look at some of the quotations. So we know that there is a song, Bhajahu Re Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So when we are singing the glories of the Lord, what we get is Abhay. We get fearlessness. Then Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.14. Apannaha samsratim ghoram yannam vivasho granan tataha sadyo vimuccheta yad vibheti swayam bhayam. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately, even unconsciously, chanting the holy name of Krishna. Shranvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana ridhyantasto hi bhadrani vidhunoti surutsatam. So when we are hearing the katha of the Lord, it says, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who have developed the urge to hear his message. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. Whatever is troublesome to the heart is almost destroyed, completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Lord is irrevocably established within the heart. Yasyam ve shruyamananam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsah shoka moha bhaya apaha. So, the loving devotional service sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearlessness. So, benediction is it destroys fear, illusion, and lamentation. Chanting removes the fear of death. Etan nirvidyamananam ichchatam akuto bhayam yoginam na pranirnitam harer namanukirtanam. So the great authorities have described that doubtless way and fearless way of success for all is actually chanting of the holy names. Then Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.4. Yat kirtanam yat smaranam yad ikshanam yad vandanam yat shanvanam yad arhanam lokasadyo vidhunoti kalmasham tasme subhadra shravase namo namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer. So instant purification by kirtanam, smaranam of the Lord. And chanting the Lord's names destroys all the sin. That is in the Ajamil section. Sanketyam parihasyam va sthobham helanam eva va vaikuntha nama grahanam ashesha agha haram vidu. Unlimited sins can be destroyed. Sanketyam, if one just says, oh, those Hare Krishnas, Parihasyam, if one jokingly also says, oh, those Hare Krishnas, I saw, yes, they are not so much interested. Parihasyam, Stobham, And if one says jokingly or even in musical way, oh, Haribol, 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 like that, they just say the words of the Lord, and even neglectfully, if some says that, it frees from the reactions of unlimited sins. And we see that how Gajendra got divine protection by remembering the Supreme Lord. And again, so many verses are there. There is a beautiful word in 10th canto. Vikriditam vrajavadhu bhiradham cha Vishno shraddhanvito anushrunayadath varnayeda bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam vridharogama apahino achirena dhira. Anyone who faithfully hears and describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus he will become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. These are some benedictions out of hundreds of benedictions which are offered in Srimad Bhagavatam verses. And we can see, one can get liberation, removal of the sins, karmic reactions, fearlessness, protection from the danger, awakening of the bhakti, purification of the heart, and freedom from the material suffering. So many benedictions are there. So so our conclusion is that we should all engage in glorifying the Supreme Lord and hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. That is the ultimate way to attain happiness. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Are there anyone want to share something? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful class. So there was a purport here, from verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of passed by that one. But it basically is a synopsis of what your class is. Your class is, this whole purport, kind of almost word for word, synopsis is a synopsis of what your class. One thing that stood out is the last paragraph. Here's the proof that God is good for everyone. Even when he kills someone, the one who is killed attains liberation. What then is to be said of those who are already in the association of the Lord? So I was just questioning the other day about how foolish it seemed for Aghasura, because Bakasura and Putana were already killed. And they were quite agile demons. They were very expert in their arts of demoniac life. And here's Aghasura thinking he could do better. And my confusion was, why? What is this, blind illusion that he thinks that he can best the Lord anyway? But here it is. Prabhupada's answering it in this purport. So even if he gets killed, he's liberated. So, so then Krishna, people become so demoniac to a certain point, and then the Lord takes charge. It seems, but we don't want to become that way. I mean, we want to surrender willingly. So what to speak of those who are trying to come willingly? You have any comment on that?
Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Krishna is Shuddham Apapa Viddham. Anybody who comes in touch with Krishna will get purified. Anybody who comes in contact with Krishna will get purified. Just like any impurity which comes in contact with the sun, immediately gets destroyed. Any kind of filth, any kind of, foul smelling things, if sun is there, then it just dries out. In the same way, somebody comes in contact with Krishna, one has to get purified. There is no way, So thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for nice class. I have a basic question. So before Krishna came, he asked all the demigods to come down to the earth to be part of his pastimes, right? So those demigods only took all the favorable devotee positions, or demons also came in, like demigods also came in the form of demons. So are these demons the demigods or just, or not?
Yeah. Yeah, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please.
Nowhere in the Bhagavatam is it stated that devotees actually become demons, except for Jai and Vijay. Those are the only that. I mean, I'm not. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Gokulan.
Is there anywhere else in the Bhagavatam where the demigods became demons or changed over? Well, okay, we'll become demons to, no.
Yeah,
it's a very good question, but yeah, no, that's the only circumstance that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think we didn't hear any of those things mentioned.
In the later stage.
Who?
Krishna's son, Sam, who was Kartikeya. Sam, he had been given the role because he happened to be instrumental in fulfilling Mother Kunti's curse, the destruction of Yadu dynasty. You know that story, right?
Musala.
Okay. So yeah, he was little bit sort of in the later stage also. I think he happened to act little bit against Krishna.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Samba. Musal Leela. Yeah, like Krishna eradicated his own dynasty through the Musal Leela. That the incident of all these grandchildren's going and enacting like a pregnant woman and then getting the curse. And
I need to find out the reference, but it is also said, I've just overheard that he had Lord Shiva's element, destruction element. Yeah, that's how he was instrumental.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the nice class, Prabhuji. I have a question. I think in the translation or purport it was mentioned that when Krishna killed Aghasur, he was 5 years old, but the pastime was revealed 1 year later. Is there any reason for that? Why they revealed the pastime 1 year later?
yeah, because there is going to be now Brahma Vimohan Leela. And in Brahma Vimohan Leela, it continues for some time, and then by the time Brahmaji comes back, already 1 year has passed, and then the original cowherd boys and all the calves, they get their form, and then they remember, oh yeah, that has happened. It was as though it happened yesterday.
For them, it was just a moment ago, and that's when they went back and shared.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a very nice class. There was so much covered in the first half also that you covered that I was really struck. You covered how the human spirit in the early times, we were more God conscious, and the biggest architectures were like the temples. And we've had this reference before also how, from temples, it started becoming, universities, colleges, and then banks. And then now our biggest architectures, even not very inspiring, are the hospitals. So we can see how the degradation of the human spirit is happening by what we are choosing to put our energy into, and what we're choosing to, kind of glorify. So that was a, very eye-opening point. And also you were highlighting all the different kind of arts or trades, like, you were the Charanas and the Gandharvas. And I was thinking of Raseshwari, how she wrote to Giriraj Maharaj and said, I like to do literature, and but everybody wants to do science and technology, the pressure. And Maharaj said, no, you so these are bona fide different, so many categorizations you came up with. in literature and arts that are so pleasing to Krishna. And all of us that have interests in these aspects, should feel enlivened that Krishna is really calling out these different categorizations of, poetry and art and dance and music. And so that was also a very beautiful emphasis that you brought out.
I just want to add this, Mataji.
Yes.
Like even I've seen in Seattle temple about 15 years back when Harivilas Prabhu used to organize big festivals, and he would call singers from India, Anup Jalota and other big singers and big dancers will come, and we would often wonder, why, all these. But he would organize at least twice a year like these big festivals, so that more and more people can come, present their talent for the glorification of the Lord. Lord is also pleased. Many people will get attracted, and many will get opportunity actually to serve the Lord. In Pune, the center that we have, the name is New Center, which is like opened almost 12 years back. The name is New Vedic Cultural Center, NVCC, like this. So the whole purpose was that we can do festivals. So when Janmashtami is there is 5 days Janmashtami. And of course, the 2 days, all abhisheks and all those things goes on in parallel. Everybody gets opportunity for abhishek and devotional. But then for whole 5 days, there is already the line of people who put their entries into, can we, present this, can we do this, so singing, dancing, different kinds of compositions, and then painting competitions. So it's so beautiful, and when everybody will get some win, and there will be judges also. Jury will be there. They will judge, who did this. And so it's so amazing, that kind of a festive mood. So everybody look forwards for that. And the preparation goes 2 months before. That how this will happen, where it will happen, how we will serve prasadam to the guests and the dignitaries who will be coming from outside. So it becomes like, festive, and everybody can connect, because to connect to the Lord, one has to, if they can connect with their talent, their desires get fulfilled, they become happy. So this is the way to give them entry into Krishna. And many of them, slowly start chanting, start taking part in this. And even here, we see that when devotees go out for Harinam, then so much bliss is there. People want to come and dance with us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so nice. Actually, it's unfortunate that I couldn't participate, but it is something very blissful having that experience of bringing Krishna out to the people. Yeah.
We, just like you touched upon, we will see glimpses of that during Festival of Joy and Janmashtami here too. When we were saying, I was really appreciating Dham here, because the other point also you made about this generational passing down the culture, you can actually see it in the Dhamya. Mother Kunti sitting here, her grandchildren. This Mother Lakshmi Priya, her, you can see it, and that is very, very enlivening and endearing to see this generational passing down the baton of Krishna consciousness. So you touched on so many points. I don't know. It was just like
actually vanaprasthas are there to make, give nice culture to the children. So usually it used to be like those who are retired, they will be, spending time with the children, telling them stories. Taking care of the children is not just, taking care of their daily needs, but to tell them nice stories from the scriptures, to give them values, to, nourish them spiritually. So that was such amazing thing, and we had some glimpse of it in our childhood. But nowadays, when we see this missing, we see that actually we should develop that as a society, because there are so many vanaprasthas here, and they have wealth of experience. Not just, telling the pastimes of Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada, but they have wealth of experience of, how to do the things, and, they can always relate with the stories, something which the children can actually understand. So that is something which we can look forward to, developing that or utilizing their wealth of knowledge and experience to help the society.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Actually, when you're telling about people coming and doing dramas, you took me back to my childhood also. I remember in my village, people come very frequently. They used to set up a stage and do Rama and drama. And our grandparents who used to tell stories from scriptures. So,
Jai.
yeah, it was very beautiful. I remember, it's in my memory when those people used to come just in the village on the street. They used to just set up the stage so quickly, and then they used to do dramas from the scriptures. So it used to happen very frequently.
Amazing, Mataji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji wants to answer.
My previous comment, I would like to beg forgiveness because I couldn't quote any reference. I will do some research. But in that particular regard, I remember many years ago I had read Brahmavarta Purana. In that, there is this interesting story mentioned before Lord, as we all know, right, before Lord Krishna appears once in Brahma's day, 7th Manvantar, 28th Dwapar. So there is a meeting that is held by Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and all the demigods they attend the meeting, and the roles are assigned. So everyone was assigned the role, and Mother Parvati, she just kept waiting. What is my role? And her role was not assigned, so she was sort of disappointed. And finally, she expressed that. So I'm trying to recollect. Yeah. So this story goes back. There is a flashback. So one time she happened to see the beautiful form of Lord Vishnu with Pitambar. The description is given about his beauty, and she was attracted. And for one particular moment, she had a desire of conjugal love with Krishna, means Vishnu. And then suddenly she felt embarrassed. I'm chaste. I'm supposed to be chaste woman. I'm wife of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was there, and immediately he understood. And he said, you don't have to feel embarrassed because we are all Prakriti, actually. And he's the only Purusha. So that particular thing was connected, and then she was assigned the role of being one of the 8 principal queens of Krishna. And she came as Jambavati. And Kartikeya came as Samba. So I just wanted to share.
Oh, the son of Jambavati. Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.